and one that my mom told me. You know, one, life's not fair. Get used to it. I'm gonna use a lot of hip hop analogies out here, so I hope y'all could get me where I'm going with this. So one, life's not fair. Get used to it. Two, life's a bitch and you're gonna fucking die. So you gotta go and try to learn how to infiltrate the system, no matter how you can do it. And one thing, and the third thing my mom told me was that this world don't owe you shit. It don't owe you a goddamn thing. This world, especially here in this country, it's the it's the country of opportunities. You get it by any means necessary. As long as you're not killing anybody, harming anybody, robbing anybody, and doing something deceitful, you could get it. With me, I'm first generation, so my family, they had to leave a regime, so they literally left another country to come here to try to better their life and try to give me a better opportunity. So and me being black in America,
Wait, what country are you from?
cubano, Cuban,
Cuba. Oh, okay.
Cuban,
Hell yeah.
yeah. Gracias. Sí, sí. Ah. So, we had to learn different things. So as much they're saying immigrants had to go to this and the third, which is true to an extent, but my family had to go to two different things, which is, learn another language, learn a different culture, and learn how to navigate how to be black in America. Because they didn't know how to learn, they didn't know how to learn, speak English, so they had to go through that other nonsense. So at the end of the day, they were still getting pulled over by the police. They were still dealing with racism, and they had to learn the little English that they did to navigate towards that system. Mind you, they sacrificed everything to leave that country. And to this day, they still haven't gone back. So to this day, I still haven't met my cousins, aunties, uncles. There's a lot I'm still missing out of that. But one thing they taught it to me is like, yo, you could do whatever you want in this world as long as you have the right team behind you, meaning family, friends. Because everybody here in this room got something, a dream that they have. We either got rappers, artists, DJs, podcasters, and we're going to go through a lot of shit, whether it's the white man, America's capitalism, and even most, we got to worry about our circles, because deep down, there's people that really don't really want you to make it within your circle. They're hating on you. They're really hating on you, and they want you to look in the back when you going to be a rapper? All right, good luck, nigga. Let's see how far you going to make it in this world. Really? You going to be a podcast, nigga? Really? Why don't you go to school or take a trade or something like that? So you're going to go through a lot of nonsense. Me being black in America, I've been through a lot of nonsense, so I get it. With Black America, I'll say this. You guys are the foundation. So as much as you don't know, you really are big inspiration to blacks all around the world. There's a lot of people that really emulating your style. If you look at a lot of even through Afrobeats, reggaeton, merengue, like you see the music videos, they emulate Black Americans' lifestyle. Popping the bottles, hanging around with the crew, throwing money in the air. Like, you guys are really big influence. So don't underestimate on the things that you do in this world. And, again, I want to use another hip-hop analogy. We are the roads that grew over concrete. We are that. We know how to turn lemon to lemonade. So in this country, with black people overall, whether you're a black immigrant or black American, nothing can really stop us. You can't preach black girl magic and black excellence and throw the other nonsense about it. That's part of the obstacle. That's part of the obstacle. So no matter what, me being black in America, being a black guy, I know I probably have to compete with my black sister right here. And the thing I know I have as privilege, as much as we complained as white privilege, I have male privilege. So I could probably be mediocre as hell, and she probably have to work 5 times as hard to get the position that she won, that we competing. So don't let nothing stop you, because I'll tell you this, you don't want to be black Cuban in Cuba. You don't want to be a black person in Cuba, because you're going to go through hell, or black Canadian, or even black Africans, mind you, because Africans coming out here trying to better themselves. So don't let nothing stop you in that department.
Yeah. Let me get to V first, because we're gonna go to the next question in a second. But I mean, you guys made like OTA. Isn't that like you guys said that was only for the Africans? Cause too many people called you African booty scratchers. Yeah, I put them on the spot. My bad.
I have something to say real quick. Just 2 things that I know for a fact, because everybody already touched really well on the racial disparity in America. Number 1 is that we believe that we're a product of our environment, but we are not. And And number two is that black people in America have been separated. Like they wanted us to feel like we were not one. So deeply, light skin versus dark skin. There's just so much separation in black people in America. So it was beautiful to hear you guys talking about the black community uplifting one another, putting their money into one another as immigrants, as different racial groups have done in America. So that's beautiful. I hope we do that soon. Please, let's do it.
I just have one quick thought. It's like a question. What is your blueprint to thrive? If you are constantly in survivor mode, then you're always going to think about how to get out. But once you let go of that survivor mindset, whether you're American or immigrant or not, what your definition of thriving and being successful for your own joy, your path of enlightenment, whatever. I'm just curious as a thought, food for thought. What is your blueprint to thrive? What does that look like? How you dress, how you live, etc.
For me, I just don't like the whole comparison between immigrants and black Americans, just because a lot of immigrants, if they grew up the way these black kids did, do the same exact thing. You feel me? So that's not fair at all. That's what I was to say.
I was just gonna say, just adding to what you were saying, I know for like a lot of my family, just coming to America is success for them. So just knowing what success for everybody is completely different. Just because being in a different country is already like global for everybody. So that's all. I know she had to say something. So.
Okay, I guess I'm getting put on the spot. But what I was gonna say is that my dad. So I'm Cape Verdean. One thing my dad always told me is value a penny. And I feel like we lose that because as soon as you make money, the next thing you're buying is Gucci or like a Lamborghini if you have the money, instead of investing that in yourself and your family to come. So that's that. You need to know how to value a penny before you can really define success. And then, what was the other thing I said to you? Oh, and then the other thing is, we as a community, once you find out that your friend is talented in something, like if she does hair, I'm like, oh, hey, Formata, can you do my hair? And she's like, it's $200, let's say. I'm going to be like, no, girl, you know me for a long time. Just give it to me for free. We're not really uplifting each other because you're always expecting something for free. But then there's like a salon across the street and they're like, oh, it's $280. You're willing to pay that because you don't know them and it's their business. So for your friends, if you pay them more and help them grow their business, that's success for you and them because you can share that story. And then that's how we come as a community.
Is it okay? All right, so I did want to say something. One thing I wanted to highlight, when I think of immigrants that have came over here, a lot of the immigrants that I think of are the immigrants that came over here that had a tough time. Where my background, I'm Cuban Dominican. My father is Cuban, my mother's Dominican. And this subject is kind of a tough subject for me because my father always talks to me about all the things he went through when he came to this country and all the things he had to go through when he's in this country. I don't know if a lot of y'all know the situation that's going on with Cuba in America. It's been going on for years. And I don't really like to talk about it because I don't like to talk about politics, but I'll talk about politics when needed. And for me, knowing the story of my dad and the things he's been through, one thing that he's always told me is that when he was here, he went through a lot of racism, of course. And his skin tone is a little bit darker than mine. One, Americans try to tell him that he had to call himself John because his name in English means John. His name is Diego. Two, with everything that he had to fight for, till this day, my father cannot even go back to his own country due to the situation that's going on, right? So when I think of course, that is our story, but this is the reason why. If you have family that are immigrants in this country, this is the reason why you need to know your power. Like you said over there, my sister, you have to know your power and you have to use your voice so that there could be someone that was in your position and that had a parent that was in the same position as my father, that can look at your story and tell themselves that they can keep going. Because a lot of the things is that there's a lot of immigrants, especially the immigrants that I always think of are immigrants currently right now, the ones that are in those camps, the ones that try to come over here. And, you know, the whole situation that was going on with, like, the camps in Texas or whatever, where the immigrants from, like, Mexico, or a lot of them were from Central America, who were being sexually abused. A lot of things was going on with them. Those are immigrants where we constantly have to speak about them, but we also have to talk about, too, how depending where we come from, we all are lucky in some ways, but we all need to recognize our privilege and our power. And so for that reason, that, you know, that being said, for me, going back to your question, my blueprint with what I want to do, I want to be able to impact each and every person in this country and outside. I want the people who look like me and who don't look like me to feel empowered, but the people that do look like me, or even if their skin tone's darker than me, I want them to know that they have power. And this is why an artist who died years ago, who inspires me to this very day, Selena, she is one girl. She was you can all say she was a light-skinned Hispanic, but she was someone that gave a voice to a lot of people, even people who didn't even look like her. And that's why wherever you come from, your community, whatever is going on in your community, you need to know that you have the power. It doesn't matter. You shouldn't be comparing you shouldn't be comparing your struggles to anyone. It does not matter, because we all are struggling. Like I said, there are immigrants who come to this country who have to be in a camp and they can't even see their families. You understand? All of us have a power within us. All of us have struggled. Especially the blacks in this country have struggled. The Native Americans, we can't forget about them. They are struggling, right? Just how the blacks are, the Latinos, everyone. But that being said, you have to know, with the struggle that you've been enduring and the struggle that your parents endured, use that to your benefit. Use your voice. Use your power. With whatever you want to do in this world, use your voice, because at the end of the day, all of us have a purpose. We're able to impact. We're able to inspire people. And that is my blueprint. My blueprint is to impact people by what I do. I'm a Latin R&B soul artist. So my goal is, everywhere I go, wherever my music is going to be heard, I hope that there's someone, especially a little kid, boy or girl, who has family that just came here and had to struggle. I hope when they hear me or anyone else that's similar to me, and that they tell themselves, I can make it just like her. I can make it just like him. So that's the blueprint I feel like each and every one of us has to think about.
Hell yeah. Oh, look at her. She walked away, too. She mic dropped. She mic dropped and dipped. All right, let's go. We got our last question. Shy, would you do us the honor?
So tonight there was a lot of talk about relationships, a lot of talk about immigrants and their experiences, you know, compared to American residents. A lot of talk about survival and money. And, you know, I wanted to ask a question. Is it okay to marry for money? You know, I heard that, you know, nowadays we marry a lot for love. And that's what I thought, too. I have a lot of friends who are not from this country, who it's not about love for them. It's not about love. It's more like a business transaction. And, you know, I wanted to ask this question because we're talking a lot about survival, and I wanted to see what the audience thought. Marry for money, male and female.
Yeah, big time.
What do y'all think?
All right. So,
and is it okay for a man to do that too?
Yeah. Okay. Hey, look. I'm answering. So here's the thing. I think people refuse to understand that in a union of such, finances are going to come into play. There's no way around it. There's no saying, oh, you know, it doesn't matter how much money you make. Because in this world, money is security. And low-key, you got to want that security with your significant other. It's going to come to that point. That being said, take it into consideration. It's seriously not the first thing. Right? Like, you do marry for love. You do marry for chemistry. Do I want to spend X amount of years with this person? but you also have to consider the fact of struggle that might come and that you can probably prevent that is financial. And also, if someone's taking care of their finances, that means they have a lot, like, not all the time, but they are looking towards the future and looking towards a future security for yourself and that significant other. So eventually it's going to come into play, but that's not the first or only thing you go for.
I'm like me. I feel like I wouldn't marry a female for no money, but you got to have that mentality of wanting to build an enterprise. See, I think a lot of people's mistakes is they think about love way too much and then got no business plan. And then the love fades out because there's no longevity. You need a game plan. So from a male speaking to women, you want real love, get your game right. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with a man. You want that woman to love you the way that you want to be valued. Start to value yourself a little more. Be realistic. Like, do you want to be with yourself in 5 years? You know what I'm saying? Do you want to be with yourself next year? Me personally, I feel like if we even thinking about marriage, we need to do contracts per year. Like, to keep it real, because what you did last year was cool, but are we still piggybacking on that for this year? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm somebody, like, I'm raising a daughter right now. So for me, I ain't gonna lie, I do apply pressure on a female that I'm dealing with because I'm trying to raise a queen and I can't have her just thinking about love. That's like, let's talk about value, especially right now when women are in a high level of getting money, earning money, and getting resources. This is your time. This is your time to step up your game and lead how you want your life and your marriage. You know what I'm saying? Instead of leaning on what this person is going to do. If you know that this person doesn't have a game plan, well, and you still love them, set it up for them. Just like how you would do for your family, your friends, especially your loved one. Be like, all right, well, you know what? Right now, for the next year or two, I know that you need to get yourself situated. But in a year or two, you better have yourself situated. Don't wait for the love to die out and then all of a sudden put a tab on this person now, because that's now you really money hungry, you know. So just, man, like, marriage is probably one of the worst things. I don't even like support it anymore the way it used to, because I mean, I'm just being real. Like, my parents came from Honduras. They got married when they came here. They've been married for 20 years, 25 years. Right now they're going through a divorce, and like, it stings me in the wrong way, because I'm like, damn, look at all that hard work. Look at all that hard work. Where did love go? You know what I'm saying? And so I'm more like about business partnership. If we could start a business together, then we could possibly get married. But if we ain't starting no business together, don't ask me to even think about would I ever get married. You know what I'm saying? Or like so yeah, that's how I move.
Good, man. I'm with you. Let me piggyback on that, my Honduran brother right there. There's this one thing, una cosa que yo aprendí. One thing I found out, because I was married. It ain't no fucking romance without finance up in this bitch. Ain't no romance without finance. So all my brothers out here, if you're going to get money, if you're going to get married, get your money up. Get your money up, because, how can I put it to you like this? In this world, you know, we as men, we have to lead. And we're going to be kings, et cetera, et cetera. The money got to be there. The money got to be there. And the mentality also. You know, it's great to fall in love and it's great to have that mentality, but as a dude, if you're a bum and a girl got money, she ain't going to elevate you. She is not going to elevate you. If you're a guy with money, you can help that girl elevate up. There's no way. Yes, don't look at me like that. Yeah, don't look at me like that, because, yeah, look, unfortunately, I have to have like this little bit of sexism in me, because here's the thing. Yeah, I'm talking that. No, we going in. I got the leg on right now.
Talk.
A little bit. Yeah.
Let's go.
But here's the thing. Let me talk my age. Let me talk. You have to use the king and queen method. You know what I'm saying? It's the king and queen method. You know what I'm saying? If a guy's a king and he meets a regular person, a regular woman, and he got status, she gets elevated to a queen. That's the equivalent with money. You know what I mean? A dude got money, he gonna elevate that person up. The best example I could give you too is like the NBA. Look at all these women that are out there in these games looking for a baller to make sure they get provided for the rest of their life. Look at them. They for an extra come up, they hoping to get pregnant to make sure that person get elevated for the rest of their life. Look at all these basketball players that got caught up. There's this documentary that I saw on ESPN called Broke, and there was a long list of players that got caught up because they got a girl pregnant and they were paying X amount of years, not only for child support, to make sure that lady that they got pregnant, they got elevated to that lifestyle. So if he got a mansion, she had to get that mansion too. So for these dudes out there, and just overall, money is going to get involved in your ass. So get your money up.
All right, let me build upon that. What you just said, brother. Yo,
I
what
ain't
you just
gonna
said,
lie.
right?
All right.
So hold on, let me get the flow real quick. So based on what you just said, yo, hold on, hold it down. Based on what you just said, there are females who will get dolled up. Yo, hold it down. There are females who will get dolled up, dressed to the nines, whatever, smell great, to go to a basketball game and do what? Yo, what's up?
If we get some silence real quick, this is the last questions, last answers for the last question.
Y'all drunk already? What's up?
It's lit back there. They turned up. They rolling blunts and shit.
Yo, somebody twerking? What's up?
They rolling blunts over there. But continue, bro.
All right, so, brother, based on what you just said, right? You got females that will get up, get dressed in groups to be like, yo, the mission is go get a big dick baller who's an NBA star, right? That's the mission, right? You go on trips. You literally have chicks who went viral in a U-Haul to go to All-Star Weekend to go get a big dick 6'5" baller. Let me ask the room a question. Yo, even the people in the back. How many men do you see going to WNBA games getting dressed in suits going to try to get a chick?
I'm finna get me one. Shit. Shit, nigga.
Can I stand up for the girls though?
Come on.
Can I stand up for the girls?
It doesn't happen.
I'm gonna let y'all talk.
This is getting heated, bro.
Tell me when that happened.
All right.
This is getting heated.
Nobody knows this, but I'm gonna
Last
come
time
through.
you've seen a group of
I'm gonna
dudes
come
get
through,
to go and try to trap a WNBA player
I'ma let you
for
talk.
some money.
Yo, X, can you pass it to my nigga V?
I just have one thing to say, though. I don't really have much of an answer, just a comment to add perspective. There is a saying that if you are the side bitch to a nigga who got money, it's better than being the main bitch to a nigga who's broke.
He said the B word.
And that might be a culture in America, but in different countries, there are people who have no money. No money. Yet they're still in love. They're still married. And some of them are poly as well. So when we're talking about you have to have finance in order to have the romance, is that just an American thing? Because there's some places where everybody's dirt poor, yet there's still love, there's still cooperation in the...
So I'm
The dude is still providing. But how much money is he making, though?
Say this.
Yo. So,
All right.
2 more responses, then we got 2 more responses.
So I'm gonna say this. I drive a 1999 CRV Honda.
Oh.
And what I make in 2 weeks, my side hustle, I'm making an hour.
Okay.
All right. And I'm gonna let you know what I do. I'm a stripper. So
Let's
what I make in 2 weeks,
Drop the app.
signing in and clocking in, I make in 1 fucking hour. And I'm gonna let you know like this. Every time I date, my masculine energy, guys cannot handle. I could pay for my own dinner. The last dude I dated, he left his whole wallet in the car, and I was like, yo, what are you doing? He's like, yo, I see you on social media and you got this and that. And I'm like,
Bro,
what
you
do
got the
you
bills,
mean? Like,
though.
why you leaving your wallet? He's like, nah, like, I see you doing good. I was like, yo, you can't pay a whole meal? I was like, yo, I got you. But for the next time, make sure you could pay for my fucking dinner and my fucking drinks. I pay for a whole fucking hotel. But I'm just saying, like, don't let that define you. And I'm just saying, like, I could pay for everyone's dinner right now. But I'm so fucking humble.
My birthday's next week. My birthday's on the 20th of November. I
I'm
like
just saying.
long walk to the park. I like yellow flowers.
I love the luxury and the higher. I'm bad and bougie, but at the end of the day, like,
Oof.
I ain't gonna front. Every time everyone was like, "Yo, let me drop you off your car," I'm like, "Nah, like, my car's on."
Nah, that's a fact.
I know I want to bend so bad, but right now my career comes first. My daughter comes first. I'm a single parent, so I'm a mom and a dad to my daughter. At the end of the day, like, I'm gonna hustle and get whatever by any means necessary.
Let's go.
And I understand, like, guys be like, oh my gosh, stripper hoes, like, I'm that bitch. Like, you would never thought I'm so quiet and humble. Yeah, I strip. So whatever I make in 2 weeks, I make that shit in a fucking hour. But I'm
like
so
that.
humble, like, by any means necessary, I'm gonna get what I need and what I want.
Hell yeah.
I just
let's
got.
go,
I would love
Wale.
to speak.
Let's go, Wale and V.
So
let's
I
go,
want to
let's go.
respond
Nah,
and
just let's go.
echo,
It's more of a
like, thank
comment.
you for sharing your truth. Thank you, Queen, because it's really hard for sex workers and different people in a very, toxic masculine energy,
Shout out to
and I
toxic
respect
masculinity.
that. One, marriage and foundationally, historically, Tatas, I know you like
know-
to curve
I'm
me,
trying to
but
cut
I
you
would
off. You know I'm
love,
trying to
you
cut you
like
off.
to curve me, and it hurts my feelings, so I'm going to let my thought
So we gotta
get
get
through.
to our next part of ourselves.
So, marriage is foundationally set up for historically outside the country and in this country. Was set up for broke men to find rich women, dowry, women who came from money to be able to. You want to move it, but the reality is that's the truth. So now we have to shift and be realistic about what money means in relationship. Like you said, the foundational bottom line is that we need money to be sustainable. But the historical context of what it means to marry for money versus marry for love has to really come from really what your intention is in your love and your intention in your money. I'm lesbian, so I'm marrying my woman, I'm marrying my partner. So I don't subscribe to the narrative of black men and women and all that, the king and queen. I believe everyone has their own ascension and their royalty and all their definition, but also your values should be able to know your worth. And I think that's what you were making a very fine point. You know your worth, and you give grace to people who actually lose their worth when they approach you. And I think when you marry, you should marry out of the worthy of love and not out of, like, whether you I feel like there's some people who, men or women, love to spend money, and they will marry someone who wants to be spent money on. Like, I think that's okay. But I also think that take time to think about what your sustainability looks like in marriage and money. What do you want to do to be sustainable in love in your relationship? And know your worth. Just know your worth.
That makes sense.
Thank you again.
Yo,
sis.
V, wrap us up in this subject. I'm sorry, bro. We gotta wrap us up in this subject.
All right, so let's be honest now. Out of all the celebrities, how many rich women are going after broke guys?
0.
None. But how many rich women are going after broke guys?
Oh wait, I
Women
think Adele
don't
did. I
save-
think Adele did. Wait, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I think Adele.
rich women don't save broke guys. Rich guys save broke women.
Oof.
Maybe
If we're being honest,
Wendy Williams, maybe, I don't know.
if we're being honest,
Well,
now,
let's yo. Sorry, we gotta sit on that. But I lied to you guys. This was not the last question. This is the last question. I'm gonna let my nigga Mos tell us his last question. We're gonna end on a positive, or it could not be positive, but it could be a positive note.
All right, yo, check it out, yo, check it out. All right, so for the next question, this is about mental health. Okay, so mental health is extremely.
Listen up.
Hey yo, I will kick everybody the fuck out. Do not play with me.
Oh.
All right, so yo, listen, check it out. So yo, for the next question, why does everyone support healing mental health, but nobody goes to therapy?
Speaking of mental health.
Why? I'm going to repeat it again. Why does everyone support healing and mental health, but no one goes to therapy? All right, who said that?
Oh, are you one of those hurt people?
No, hell no. Listen, when people do, that hurt people, like, weak-minded people connect with weak-minded people. Let's just be real. So, if you like somebody who passes aggressive, you're going to go help them out. But you're not going to go help somebody who's strong-minded, who can do it, but you don't know how far they can do it. And I think a lot of people in here probably gone through that one phase in their life when they're like, damn, everybody thinks I'm all good with doing this, but they'll go help all the weak-minded people who don't really need all that. They just need that conversation, but we just need that presence, right? And so I just firmly believe, like, We gotta grow and stop considering yourself as a weak-minded person. Just be like, I'm strong-minded. Once you get out that mentality, you start connecting. They say, iron sharp as iron. You know what I'm saying? So just keep yourself around the right mindset of people, and you gonna grow. That's all I gotta say.
I'm not gonna lie. I see like a lot of like the stigma has changed, right? People say like oh, you in therapy? That's cool.
Therapy's cool now, yeah.
It's cool. But and people say like, oh, mental health, that's cool. Like, yeah, you got to take your time for yourself, take some time to understand things. But what I've seen is that like, oh, mental health is cool, but they never went to therapy. You know what I mean? And they got their own issues and shit like that. You know what I mean? But there was like a lot of black men especially, they'll be like, all right, yeah, therapy's cool now, but they'll never touch it. Like, that's like, I feel like it's a fact of life.
If I could add, I am in therapy now. And I think when we're talking about the stigma for going to therapy as a black man, I did not want to go speak to a white woman about my issues and problems, particularly because it's like there's a level of relationship that I feel like we don't have, where like you're not able to see me. I'm blessed because there's a black woman that is a therapist for me. And so when I'm talking about, you know, going to see a shaman or going to see a mambo or a hogun as my like form of therapy, she doesn't have this bias or judgment or stigma of like, oh, so like you have non-traditional practices that work as well that are therapeutic for you. And I think we can like rethink about therapy in our ancestral, indigenous, you know, most basic selves, as well as like the therapy that's like kind of the West, because I think that with like a blending or a balancing of the two of them, you can like find a really sweet spot. But it's hard, especially because like in my family, to go to therapy, it's not that you're crazy, but it's just that you're weaker, and that like, you know, that there's this stigma of the black experience being about how strong you are and how, you know, you tough through some of the things, rather than being like, yo, I'm weak as shit and I don't have the answers and I don't have the systems, like, and I'm suffering and making poor decisions because of them, right? Like, it's an honest place to be in, but it's a hard place as well.
I will say this. I'll say this. I think I want to push back on that, because I think more than ever, this new generation that we got here, we are promoting therapy more than ever, because we're from that generation that our parents will tell us like, why are you taking therapy? You're not that crazy, and why you going to this white person to tell our problems? And one of the things we as people have, because we have so many skeletons, is like, why are you telling our business to the people out there? So I think more than ever we are promoting therapy, because I'll speak for myself. When I was married, I used to tell my ex-wife all my issues. She was on my ass to be like, yo, you need to fucking talk to somebody that's professional. And I'm like, why do that? I got you, I got my best friend, I got my brother, I got my team. And like, no, you need somebody professional to figure out why you're so much of a fucking head case. And I finally did that. And it was so much of a it was like a rock taken off your shoulder, because you finally get to speak to somebody who gets you on a professional level. And I think for me, and I'll speak to my fellow black men out here, you know, because we as black men been forced to like suppress our feelings and suppress our issue and our traumas, and through our life, from our fathers, grandfathers, great grandfather, is like, yo, you gotta man up. Like, why you crying? Ain't no crying out here. Men don't cry, et cetera, et cetera. You got to take that shit, muscle up, walk it off, and keep it moving. But, you know, we as men, you know, we cry. We get vulnerable. You know, sometimes we want that hug from our wife. We want that we want that hug from our sons or even our moms. Yeah. So I think more than ever, we've been promoting therapy to figure out why we so much of a head case. And it could be anything, you know, it could go back from slavery. Even our own family gave us trauma. Our mom, our dad, issue with father issue, because, you know, as much we promote, you know, fathers in the home, we don't got our dads in the building. You know what I mean? That's my story. My dad wasn't there for me, so I got to talk about that. You know, I gotta talk about how my mom had to be mom and dad. And as much as I love my mom, you know, for being mom and dad, it's not her job to be dad. The job of a dad is to be the dad in the building, regardless of the situation. So I think I'll push back on that and say, yo, we are promoting therapy more than ever. And outside from your friends and your inner circle, go seek that help, man, because we all got issues. We all got trauma. We all got some inner demons that we got to face and confront because it's not pretty out there.
Yeah. My, shit. All right. My bad. I was gonna say it'd be good for them to normalize therapy as like as much as they push certain agendas, commercials, whatever, because the only way really to heal is through talking, right? So the way that they kind of push it, it was like, yo, I think that you should hit up this line, or they try to make it discreet, like it's something that you should feel ashamed to do, to kind of call in and etc. And if you kind of like, yo, oh, I'm about to go to therapy, people be like, yo, what's wrong with you, nigga? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's good with you? But nah, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, me personally, I've learned to kind of take the pain and everything that I go through, and my therapy has been, all right, well, I'm here right now, and I know where I'm going, and kind of go through it and kind of eat the bullets, you know what I'm saying, and just kind of go through it day by day. But then I have my relapses, and some people will see it and be like, oh, this nigga tripping. It's like, nah, it's not that. It's because I'm doing my own type of therapy. I'm eating the bullets and going through it and still moving forward. And y'all don't know what it's like to not be able to open up. Because even when you go through therapy sessions, sometimes your own therapist will judge you off of what you fucking say, because at the end of the day, they just like you. They are trained professional to a certain point till you say some real wild shit to them, and then like, because one of the things they say is, I can only hold a certain amount. So if you say something else, like for example, they say, oh, if you have a body or something, I'm not liable to do that. I got to report that. So it's like, what the fuck was the point of therapy?
Can I say something right quick? Can I say something? I'm sorry. First of all, thank you guys for the space. I'm pretty new here from Brooklyn, New York to Boston. Yeah, so it's been awesome. It's been awesome to sit here and just kind of getting acquainted with the artistry here in the city. But what I wanted to say is kind of piggybacking from you, like the negative connotation, I think, is people think you're crazy. And I look at therapy as it's more tools. We just didn't get a lot of tools to help us navigate, through certain traumas and certain issues that comes up, in life. So I've been in therapy. I'm on a break right now, but I'm still like reading and meditating and just kind of staying around certain people. I agree with the other guy too when he said, iron sharpens iron. So if you're around, people that's going to hold you accountable, that's going to speak the truths to you, that's, working on themselves and you're working on yourself and you guys come together, I think, you're going to be fine. But so if you are thinking about therapy, I think it's just more so just getting the tools and, getting that support system, that'll help you figure things out. That's all I wanted to say. So thank you again for this space. It's been amazing.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, honestly.
Quick.
Let us be your therapy.
Hold on. One second. No, wait, listen, I'm going to just, do one. Listen, everybody, first of all, I just want to apologize. Personally, I didn't mean to snap. I do it most of the time, but I try to control myself. Listen,
respect.
No, listen, I don't care. This is something I have to do because it's all about accountability.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm fucked up sometimes mentally, but in the end of the day, like I'm around good people who teach me how to like conduct myself and control, have accountability of my emotions. So that's what I'm learning about. I apologize.
Exactly.
If I snapped at y'all, I didn't mean to do that.
Self-awareness.
But yeah, that's it.
Self-awareness. Take accountability. That's respect.
Just one quick.
I know. We're over the time because we have to do the
Yeah, we're gonna
but I'll
diagnose
I'll give
everybody
you-
with cannabis
wait,
tonight.
Wait.
You get cannabis. You get cannabis.
Wait. But I'll give you, and then what's Eva? What's her name? Eva. Yeah. So wrap it up. Be very quick, and let's move on with it.
I was just gonna say, I think physical therapy is sort of an emotional transaction. I think that a lot of people out here are actually battling with trauma from generational curses. So I think that there's a level of spirituality to it. It's not just like the therapy that can just get over all the adversity and everything going on. There's a lot of like spiritual warfare out here,
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So like I said, I think that there's a lot of generational curses that a lot of people are fighting from, and it's beyond them. So I just think you can't really just go to therapy for those kind of things, Not everything can be cured through therapy.
Talk to somebody though. Anybody.
I just want to share a resource for anybody who is trying to get therapy right now. BetterHelp is an app, and they're doing a month of free therapy. So if you go on betterhelp.com/tennis, you can get a month of free therapy if you sign up in November.
Let's go. If you're crazy, get some therapy. I'm just playing. Also, yeah, we're about to take a quick break. So, yeah, do whatever you need to do. If you want to go smoke and use the bathroom, do what you got to do. And we will be back
shorty,
in about 30 minutes.
Pour a drink.